Is it good in life to be an optimist or a pessimist? And what I mean is, which approach is going to make you more successful, give you more satisfaction in your job and in your life, which is going to be better for your health, and which is going to contribute to your emotional equilibrium? Now, there's an interesting discussion of this in Rob Henderson's newsletter, and I'm going to summarize his conclusions. He actually begins very interestingly with an episode of Mad Men, where a young girl, Sally Draper, is talking to her grandmother, Grandma Pauline. And apparently Grandma Pauline describes that when she was young, one time her dad woke her up early in the morning and basically just gave her a kick. What? And when she goes, "What was that for? What did I do?" The father goes, "That's for nothing, so look out." So now you think the grandma would be outraged, but no, it turns out what she tells the young girl in relaying this anecdote is what she learned from that episode is that the world is a random and dangerous place, and so you better be prepared. In other words, it's good to be a cynic. It's good to be a pessimist. It's good to expect the worst. It's good to detect in people dark motives. And the question that Rob Henderson raises in the newsletter is that actually true? Are you better off thinking the worst about people or the best? So there's apparently a bunch of studies on this which examine what is sometimes called primal world beliefs. So one primal world belief is people who are positive. Let's call this the optimists. They think the world is a relatively safe place. People are generally good. Things are generally getting better. And you contrast this with the cynics or the pessimists who think the world is a very bad place. It's very dangerous. People are cutthroat. And misery is the normal course of life, and so on. And the studies look to see not who's right, not which set of beliefs matches up with the world really, but rather which subjective frame of mind helps you in getting through life better. And it turns out that positive beliefs are better. It turns out that people who have positive beliefs generally are healthier, they're less depressed, they have more success in their work, they have more job satisfaction, and they have more kind of life satisfaction or psychological flourishing. And people who are real cynics, who always are expecting and predicting the worst, they actually have worse outcomes. So it becomes, in a strange way, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, what's interesting about this is that this finding is so robust. What it means is that you've got people who are kind of positive, and they don't do as well as people who are really positive. And you've got people who are kind of pessimistic, and they do a little better than people who are completely pessimistic. So the spectrum, in other words, holds all the way across. And again, like I say, this has nothing to do with who's right, because the pessimists may go, all these optimists are living in la land. You know, they don't understand human nature. They don't understand the world as it is. Debbie's kind of laughing. I think it's called the laughter of recognition. Debbie goes, that's kind of my philosophy he's describing. Honey, this is supposed to create bad outcomes in life, and you're generally out. So I don't think you're...
with an optimist.
That's because she hangs out with an optimist. I'm rubbing off on her. I'm responsible basically for her psychological flourishing and general state of happiness. Yes. If I were to step out of the picture, things would go rapidly downhill.